So what wine is like? What's in the wine? So in the wine, you can start. So in the wine, it's not like a little bit only the grapes. So the grapes which has like water, alcohol. So water, like grapes has water in it. So 80 to 90% of it is like water in it, and alcohol. So once the grapes get fermented and converted to alcohol, so we will get present of like 10 to 15% of alcohol. And apart from that, if you find sugar and other components like acidity and other minerals in the wine. So let's come up with like how you going to taste wine. So anyone knows like the basic thing of wines. So like how you taste the wine. So the thing is like so you see the wine and you swell the wine and smell, sip, and you judge the wine. Like you finalize, like you tell the like you describe the wine like how it is and how the texture and the flavor and on that. So why you do like all these analysis? So why you do all the things? The main thing is like when you see the wine, so you see the like when you see the wine, you describe like how bright it is, or it is dull, or it is like cloudy. So you analyze like if it's like little bit dull or cloudy, it might be a sign of like little bit faulty, or maybe other reason on that. So why when you swirl the wine, so when you swirl the wine, so the air will enter the, it gives the air to that, so you can get more of aromas and flavors, so you can taste more on aromas and flavor in it. So it aerates the wine. So then if you sniff the wine, sniffing is because you smell the wine to find out the aromas like fruit, vegetable, or anything. So what are the flavors you find in the wine? And you take little sip of the wine, and you flush, means you coat the wine with your mouth entirely, and judge the complexity of the flavor and any other things on that wine. And the last thing is the split or swallow, sorry. The split is like when it comes to wine professional, you taste like more than 10 to 20 of the wines. So when you take like if you swallow the wine, so much of the, so it will be very much alcoholic, and you can't judge the wine in that. So that's why usually when after splishing the wine, so you usually people split at the time of professional wine tasting. Apart from that, you can swallow the wine, and you can say you can judge the wine of its finish, how it you feel, and how it is. Did you like it or you don't like it? So you can judge on that. So I wanted to ask, like, how you going to taste? Like, are you going to judge the fruit? I mean, sorry, food in your like, how you going to judge the food? So anyone can like, if you have a food, so how you not judge it? So anyone can tell me how you going to judge the food? Like, if you taste the food, so you actually judge like based on like bitterness, salty, sweet, or like that. And like in the same way, even in the wine, we judge in the these kind of these parameters like body, sweetness, tannin, acidity, alcohol, and flavors and aromas, characters in it, and the finish of that. So what are the aromas and flavor characters here? So the aroma flavors are divided into six different characteristics. So that is fruit, vegetable, spice, and oak aging, general aging, and earth. So you may ask, like, what is oak aging? So like wine usually, some wines will do go on oak aging, where you get the aroma like aromas and the flavors of like vanilla, cedar, or something like that. And generalizing means it takes like maybe 5 years, 3 years, like it go for a general aging. So you will get like chocolatey aroma flavors, and like something like that. You will get the aromas on that. Apart from that, earth and others, like it's like if it is like some mushrooms and like little bit of spice, something like that. So you will get like earthy aromas like that. You will get the flavors in that wine. So you may know like. can you tell me like why you may heard of like wine notes? You if you browse anything like you may know heard of like wine notes. You should take wine notes. So can anyone say like why wine notes are necessary for that? So anyone can chat like put it on the chat so that if I know like why wine notes is required on that.
Yes, guys, can we get everyone's answer in the chat box? Or else you can just unmute yourself and answer your question. Answer it.
Okay, so yeah, I think most of doesn't know. So why not? Like for example, I've been to Israel for some other travel. So I've been to one vineyards and it was my beginning in the career. So I don't know like why to take wine notes and everything. I went and I tasted a wine there. And after coming, I like the wine. But after coming to India, I really forgot the wine. I didn't remember what wine I tasted, what the flavors it was. So that's the reason we take wine notes. So it help you to remember like what wine you tasted, and if you like it, you can purchase it again, or you can refer to some of your friends and family. So yeah, I tasted this kind of wine. So it was very nice and very fruity. Like you can describe them and you can refer to them. So what are the parameters like what you should take in the wine notes is like so the country, so where it is. So this is the wine which I tasted at the time of New Year. It's from Italy, and the producer name and the grape variety. So the what the grape it has the variety. So I will explain like what the grapes Chardonnay. It's the grape variety, and the alcohol level it has 12% of alcohol level. And these are the parameters that like the color was very medium, and the aromas was like lemon and banana with a medium intensity of the aromas which I get it. On the palate, it was delight and medium acidity, and I got the flavors of pineapple and peach, and with a short note, short note, it finished it off like doesn't stay in my mouth very long, so it will finish the very fast in that. So this is the way you take the wine notes in that. So which helps you to analyze, and if you like the flavors and on that, so it may be well helpful for you. So you may ask, okay, you are talking about flavors, aromas, where these flavors come. So do you add that flavors? So definitely not. So flavors are not added in the wine. It is the components which are naturally present in the grapes, and it comes wine in the process of wine making process. There are lots of components which mix match and gets these aromas and the flavors in it. Like this is a example I have given is Sauvignon Blanc grapes. So each which has it grapefruit flavor, the green apple, and peach. So these are the things which you get in the Sauvignon Blanc in that. So next coming to like I am talking about grapes. So what are the grapes which used for winemaking? It is not the grapes which we usually get in the market. So these are the grapes which are usually different varieties from Europe countries. So it is like it is named as Vitis vinifera. So these grapes have little bit thicker in skin and have more sweeter than table grapes. And which there are like lot of varieties, like 10,000 varieties you can have, but few are grown use more. So for example, Shiraz, Chardonnay, Chenin Blanc, Sauvignon Blanc. See, these are the grape varieties you can see in the wine labels. So if you go to a shop and if you see, I think I can give an example on that. Yeah, I think you can see here. This is a Blackbird vineyard. This is our vineyard. So they have mentioned in this. It's just Shiraz. So Shiraz, it is a grape variety which is used for the winemaking. And these grape varieties have their own characteristics and own flavors and textures on it. So that's why each grape varieties have their own different. So when you taste, so you will get different. So that's why we mentioned like the flavors, what are the flavors you get, and varieties, means aromas you get in that. And apart from that, there are other reasons in winemaking process. So so I'm talking on that. So let's see like how the winemaking will be done. So once the grapes has ripened, so it will be transferred to the winery, and it is being crushed, and it goes to fermentation where the yeast eats all the sugar in it, and it get converted to alcohol. So then it is being pressed. It will be, the skin will be like the skin will be pressed so that you can get the liquid, and it will be filtered, and some might goes for long aging in the oak, or some go for little like minimum aging in a stainless steel tanks. So and it will be bottled and will go for the consumers like that. And they are different thing, like in red wine the wine making will be a little bit different, and the white also will be a little different, and the rosé. So when I wanted to say like what is the difference is, in a red this is the same process, but in a white, so when crushing is done, so it directly goes to the pressing, because so they will extract the skin of it, and then it go to the fermentation. So why it is like the skin has the color in that, so that's why the red have get the color of the red, even some even do in a white wine with the red, because like extracting the skin from that and go for the fermentation, that is also done. So this is a different thing they do on. So and coming up to so what makes the wine different from different countries, different places. So this is a terroir. So this is a French word. So what is this? It is a combination of like the climate. It describes so the climate, soil, and the traditional, and even the region. So these are the combination of it. So why it is very necessary so describe to that. So because I can give like for example, cold climate and the warm climate. So when it comes to cold climate, so like France, Italy, so they have the cold climate. In the cold climate, what happens is that the grapes will ripen very slowly, because of it is the temperature on that. The temperature get rises at the peak of the season, and at the time of the harvest, and suddenly it drops. So the taste of the wine again it will changes. And in the warm climate region, so that's why you will get in the cold climate, it will be little bit acidic. So it has lots of high acidity in that. And when it comes to warm climates, so the warm climates like, for example, Australia, India, South Africa. So these are the like countries which are like, so you call as New World also. So you can, they say call like New World wines. So New World wine. So they here it is like the climate will be continuous, like it is constant. So and so they will be like more like entire season, and you get the more fully fruit, the ripeness, the grapes will ripen very more, and it will be very fruity, and you get the flavors of like more like fruity flavors in that. And the only drawback is that the acidity level will be a little bit low because of the warmness. So that's the difference in that. And apart from that, so I said like soil. So each region has a different soil. So the soil also impact the flavors of the grapes, and the weather. Like for example, here the weather like, so it is not like constant. Weather will be not constant. So it will change. Even the climate also, the weather will like, will sometimes it will be very rainfall, and sometimes it will be very cloudy. So at that time the grapes ripening will take some time, and it might ripen what we expect, it might not, and it will take like little delayed on that. And even the other like wind, mountains, and all the other reason. If you are in came from the like science background, so you can know about little bit more about this. So like what affects, if you know agriculture also, you can know about like how much the it will affect the uh, crop on that. So that's why we usually say like the winemaking is actually done. 70% of winemaking is done with the vineyards. So there are a lot of things processing in the viticulture. So only the 30% which is done in the winemaking in the process. That's why you get like lots of flavor, like lots of difference in that region, place, even climate, and like which is near to that. Even in the Napa Valley, so you can like California in the Napa Valley, you will get like which is near to that. There are like lots of their own uh, what we call the regions and the climatic structure on that. So next will come with the like types of like wine labels. So usually like wine labels will be done like three types. So when you come to the like France, so they France and Italy, they have by region they line in with a little with the appellations. So these appellations like are which is like little bit strict, and where they have that particular like the vineyard should be grown like this, and the crop should be like this, and the common like the blending the wine. So usually wine will be blended with two other like for example Melon or Cabernet Sauvignon. So the sorry, yeah, Cabernet Sauvignon. So these two will be blended. So in the if you come to this Bordeaux, if you can see this is the region where this is the application they will be mentioned. So the region where you get um, more of crop cultivation of melon and Cabernet Sauvignon. So there will be a blend so of both the things, and they are like other. They will mention. So Vinde Bordeaux means. So this is like they are mentioning with a hierarchy. I mean, trying to say like if it's like premium or it is like good quality, like premium like that. They have like lots of appellation with the classification. So that's it's like with another thing. So you can study if you are so much interested in that. It is another kind of you can study about the labeling also of wine label on that. And apart from that, by variety, they will name like what I've shown like Shiraz with a brand name. So it is like you can see it is a Chardonnay and Sauvignon Blanc. So it is a blend of two, and you can even say in the back of the label they might have mentioned the percentage how much they have blended also. And with the fancy now they are coming with a fancy name and the like brands. So anyone remember any brand from India or anywhere, so you can tell me like if you have remember any brands or wine labels if you have seen. Can you name any winery like my brands anything, so you can put in the chat box. So no one remember any winery in that. Okay, so you can say like I can give an example of Sola Grower in India. So I'm mentioning on India, so you can check on that. So there are other varieties on that brands. So let's come off with the types of wines. So there are like three types of wine. The still wine, which I was talking like what the wine making process. So these are the red, white, and rosé. These are the still wines. So apart from that, there is like sparkling wine, champagne. Champagne and sparkling is like the same. So why we call champagne is that so it is a French. It's where the champagne is a place where the in the France. So where it will be manufactured. So it has like so that's why we call that as a champagne. So when we do so the winemaking process in champagne is that we take a base wine like Pinot Noir, like the Chardonnay, and it will be go to the fermentation with the adding the yeast, and it is with a closed type, so which creates the carbon dioxide in that. So that's why you get the bubble in that and the sparkling wine. And up next, and they are like different method of doing. They are like traditional method, tank method. So it is like a different method of doing on that. And apart from that, there is a fortified wine where you call like port cherry wines. So where it is fortified wine, it is gone to fortification with adding sugar and yeast, where they will increase the alcohol level, and so which is more where you can find more alcohol in that, and it can be stored and it can be saved like more than 20 to 100 days even. And even this also there has like different method of doing, and even they mention like you can see here they have mentioned the Tony. So this is an it is been aged like more than 20 years. So that is a difference in that. It is a port wine, and they have their brand and everything. So next
Ma'am,
come
what is the difference between sparkling wine and champagne?
yeah, so there is no difference with the sparkling wine champagne. Champagne, usually champagne is only restricted term which has been used. Like the champagne is done with a traditional method. So it is not like done in tank method or any other. It is done in a traditional method. So that's why we call champagne in that, and it is usually done mostly in France place. That's only the place we do. So that's why they are restricted. Like usually they were seeing like now they are restricted a bit on that. So use term of using champagne. You should not use champagne in any bottle. Like for example, in India also, if you do traditional method, and you should not use a champagne name, but you can see in the label, you can they have mentioned like traditional method, or in the France word like traditional method in that France term. So they will mention, they won't mention champagne because that's the reason between the champagne and sparkling. So sparkling wine can be done like any method. So like tank method or traditional method or other like carbon method. They are like different methods on that. So it can be done on that.
Both are carbonate drink, huh? Both are inside the carbonate, no?
Yeah, they are like yeah, it is carbonated. Yeah, so that's why you will get the bubble in that. So in the traditional method, what happens is that the carbon dioxide it will produce in it. So some method you usually put the carbon. So in other methods, a few methods, so usually you put the carbon dioxide in that. So that's the method for difference in that. And you can even the pricing may change. So even if you can see the pricing, and even they mention like how which method they have done in that sparkling wine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we'll come to the like food and wine. So this is the interesting part, and like it will be a little bit confusing also. I can like simplify with this like bit of a hint, because I can't like you should do like this so that you will get the same kind of thing. Like you can like, because my palate is different and your palate is different. You like maybe like more uh, acidic fruits, or like food, or you make rich food, but some like doesn't like that. So it all depends on that. The main thumb rule you can follow in wine pairing is that, so you can do food and wine pairing, which is complements the dish, or you can do with which enhance the dish in that. Means I can say so which enhance the flavor in that dish also. So this is the you can do on that. And I am giving you example of that is like if you wanna do pairing on that, the one thing you should remember, the food should be not more rich than the wine. So it should not be like that. That it should be a vice versa. Like wine should be more acidic than the food. So where you can complement with that, and wine should be more sweeter than the food. Like if you are pairing with a sweet wine, it should be more sweeter. Wine should be more sweeter with that, and it should be, and the flavors it should be should be matching, so that you can match in that. So for example here like bold red means like full bodied red. So each can be complemented with a meat which has richness. So the bold red wine which has tannin, so it can complement on that. And if it's like if you're having light food like vegetable like what we call vegetable like Indian dish or something like which is very light. So you can complement a light wine, light white wine or light red wine with that. So these are the main thing you can focusing on that. And you can try out like which helps you to like if you are doing your wine tasting, like some wines you can try out when you do a food. You can get to know like what complements my food, or any, or if it's complements or not. Like for example, if you are having a seafood, And so seafood as like little bit like watery like on that, so you can complement with the light bodied white wine like that. So like light goes with light, like rich, like bold goes with bold, like something like similar to like that. So you can try on that. So so coming up to the health and wine, little wine facts is that like yeah, what I said, like you can heard of like wine is good for health. Yeah, it is good for health when you only drink in a moderation. So what is you can ask me like what is moderation is like for example if you're if you're men, so you can have 2 glasses per day, and if you have women, you can have like 1 glass per day. That's the more basic moderation wine. If you have more than, so it will be like more alcoholic because yeah, wine is a bit alcohol content. So that's the reason. And apart from that, like red wine have that. So wine has that antioxidant. So that's why it helps in health, which helps in it keeps health hot and even. Healthy for heart, and it's like common cold, even blood sugar like blood sugar like sugar level also you can so this is a very more important like it comes to health on that. And apart from that, so there are like common myths and like facts you should follow when you want to follow in wines is that like most of them say like wine will get like when the wine is get aged, so it is taste better. So actually it is not. So some wine are good for aging, some are not. Not all wines are meant for aging. So now you can get a wine which is aged like less than a year, and you can get a wine which is very good in quality, and you can taste better than what you get with a aged wine or very expensive wine. So even some say like if it's high expensive and the cost is high, so the wine may taste better. So maybe it may get opposite on that. So it may you get the wine may be expensive, but you can't you didn't like the wine, so that may happen. So it's not about the pricing on that. So even with a low budget friendly wine also you can get a good wines. Not only in other countries, also in India also you can get a good wines on that. And next coming with the like storage. So you are if you are a wine lover, so how you going to store, and if you know how you going to store in the home, so especially in home, so how you going to store if you are a wine lover, you collect like you like to collect like lots of wine. So it is best to use you yeah maybe you say like I refrigerate the wine. So but our refrigerator has like little vibrations in it, and even you usually open close, so there will be fluctuation of the temperature. So it is not good for the wine, it will get spoiled. So that it gets spoiled, the wine gets spoiled. So that's why you can get a wine cooler, so which keeps the wine constant temperature. So it should be like 15 degree or Celsius. And when it comes to storage, like okay, I don't drink wine, and I usually occasionally take the wine. In that case, you can store the wine which is like in home, which has cool place. So can anyone say like which is the coolest place in your home? So anyone can say like not like I'm not saying like very cold, like normal cool place. So can anyone say like this is a cool place in your home? Okay, okay. So like the coolest place is like your closet where you keep the clothes. So that is will be little cooler, and in even the pantry like you can it will be little cooler. So these are the place you can keep the wine. Not in the kitchen, not in the kitchen because the kitchen is a more warm place, and not directly into the sun. So the sun will damage the wine. So that's why you get the bottles which is like very dark color. So that's why which helps to protect from sunlight. So that's why wine bottle will get in a dark color. So that's the reason. And it also damages the wine. So that's why you should keep out of the sun. And if you get the wine case, you should store in a place where you don't get direct sunlight in it. And apart from that, so wine, if you brought a wine which has cork, I think you can cork in that. So you should store a wine in such a way that the cork should have a contact with the wine, so it should not get dried up. So if you try to open it, so if it's dried, again it will be difficult to open and it might break. So that's the reason when you get the cork bottled wine, you should keep in like you should store like in this way. Apart, if it is a screw cap, it's fine. You can keep like this only. And one more thing, the wine. So the how to serve the wine. So wine serving is like you may. So if it is a red wine, you should chill. Like usually wine should be chilled. So if it is a red wine, before serving, it should be chilled like 15 to 20 degrees Celsius. And if it is a wine, like 15, like that. And if it is sparkling wine, little more like 5 degrees Celsius. Why? Because it helps to you get the to get the taste of the like aromas, and you can get that aromas and flavors in that. So you may see in like website, and some people say you can serve in the room temperature red wine. Uh, Definitely not in the Indian room temperature. So our Indian room temperature will be like more than 25. So again, you can't get that flavor and aromas in that. So if you go to restaurant, or if you have a party at home, so you better chill out and you will feel better with the taste and the flavors in that. So finally I wanted to conclude like wine, it's little bit complex, but it can be if you know understand the wine bit a little bit on that. And you if you want to know more about, you should the main thing you should know about the grape varieties. So grape varieties which are there, and you can get the more on that. And often you taste the wine. When you taste the wine, you can know more on that, and like you can try your like tasting. I mean, so detecting the aromas and flavors in that. And there is like little bit way you can do on that. And it is like it's not like very complicated. So the wine can be like actually wine connects actually people. So you can have a get together with your family and friends and have a wine party discussing about it and talk confidently about wine and other things, so that you can enjoy wine with friends and family even at home. In that that's the more about the wine. So any doubts you have, you can let me know.
Yes, guys, do you have any other doubts? You can ask a doubt as well. Yes, guys, do you have any other doubts? Yes. Can people get addictive to wine?
Can people get addicted to? Yeah, that's what I say. So yeah, people can get addicted to wine if you consume more. So that's why I specifically said that you should have that moderately. So whatever you, even not only wine, if you take anything more, consume more, so that will be addictive. So even that also. So that's why we usually specify like you should have the wine in a moderate. So not like more. So that's how the, and even it helps to health also. So if you have the moderately, so it helps your health. So what is the difference between sparkling wine and champagne? Yeah, I answered for that.
Yeah. So anyone else who wants to ask any question, guys? Guys, do you have any other questions to ask? Okay. So, ma'am, can I share the surprise with everyone now?
Yeah, and yeah, one more I wanted to say. Today is the Malbec World Day. So Malbec is a grape variety. So this is today is that grape day. So this has that like high tannin grape, and which is actually grown in Argentina. So and it is like more popular nowadays. It's becoming more popular in more other places. So today is the day on that. So if you can find any Malbec, so in the wine store you can try it out. So it has it has good flavors and texture in it.
Yeah. So thank you, ma'am. So guys, can I get everyone's answer? How was the session for you guys? Can I get everyone's answers and feedback in the chat box? It will be great to know, guys. How was the session for you, Simran, Sagar, Darpan, Tiberpan, Post, Bit User? Guys, can I get your answers in the chat box? Yes. So, guys, in the we have a master class as well with wine tasting with ma'am. So, guys, I just want to know how many wants to enroll for the master class, because I was getting direct messages from everyone like what are the master classes going to start. So, guys, can I get everyone's answer? How many wants to enroll for the master class as well? I will share all the details about the master class. Don't worry, in a minute. Just want to know, you can just write it down your name in the chat box. How many want to enroll for the master class as well? Yes, Simran, Sagar, guys, can I get everyone's answer in the chat box? Okay, again, I'm